Hello everyone, my name is Kasim Lupao and I am one of the expert IELTS trainers here at RealEdge International. Welcome to our video lesson today where we are going to learn more about how to write a Band 9 essay on two-part questions. In our lesson today, we are going to be presented with a sample two-part question, and next we are going to learn how to generate supporting points before we finally write a Band 9 answer to that question. This is our sample question, and the first instruction is you are supposed to spend 40 minutes on this task, and the task is: do you think that experimental on animals for scientific purposes is justified? Are there alternatives to animal experimentation? Write an essay of at least 250 words. Now, how do we generate supporting points? Basically, two-part questions. As we know, you will be presented with two questions, and the two questions will be different. Therefore, when responding to this, the idea is basically we are answering the two questions. And the first question was, do you think experimental on animals for scientific purposes is justified? For my case, I've said yes, experimental on animals for scientific purposes is justified. And my supporting points are as follows. Number one, it helps in the development of drugs. And number two, it helps in the development of vaccines. And then the second question was, are there alternatives to animal experimentation? And my answer is yes, there are alternatives, and the alternative is human subjects. Now, just a recap on how we need to structure our essay. Of course, we know that the essay must have 4 paragraphs: the introduction paragraph, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and finally the conclusion paragraph. In the introduction paragraph, so the introduction paragraph must have 3 sentences. First sentence, you paraphrase the overall question. Second sentence, you paraphrase the first question and state an answer to the first question. And finally, sentence number 3, you paraphrase the second question and state the answer to that second question. Body paragraph 1. Here, you provide an answer to the first question, and you must write your paragraph in 5 sentences. And already we have seen how that is done. Body paragraph 2, you answer the second question, and as you answer the second question, you must do that in 5 sentences. And finally, the conclusion paragraph, you restate the answers to the 2 questions. Now, our Band 9 answer. Introduction paragraph. My take is that scientific research through use of fauna is highly recommended. This is because it helps in development of cure of various diseases as well as making inoculations that prevent several ailments. Instead of using rodents in these kind of experiments, human subjects can be another viable option. Body paragraph 1. The use of guinea pigs has been highly applied in the field of health sciences for purposes of manufacture of both medicines as well as vaccines against many infections, and I think that this is a welcome development. In view of the fact that drugs and immunizations can have a couple of adverse effects, they are first experimented on animals. The remedies are only allowed to be used on human beings after they have proved to be effective on other species. To give an illustration, following the COVID-19 pandemic, several countries are currently using some type of mice in their studies that are aimed at coming up with a vaccine against coronavirus. For these reasons, I fully support the idea of using animals in medical trials aimed at finding treatments against harmful microorganisms. body paragraph 2. However, individual human beings can be used as alternative in these kinds of surveys. Owing to the fact that eventually the developed solutions will be used by people, some persons can volunteer to be used as study subjects. Sick individuals volunteer to be given the new treatments and their efficacy is tested. For instance, Kenya is currently in the process of obtaining ethical approval that will allow use of humans in vaccine trials against the coronavirus. Therefore, members of the public can serve as better substitutes during medical research. Conclusion paragraph. To sum up, I totally concur that use of wildlife in scientific experiments is highly justified. Where this is not possible, the community can be sensitized to allow for some of them to offer themselves to facilitate the investigations. Thank you. That is the end of our lesson today. I look forward to seeing you again in our subsequent lessons.